Alright guys, so Fula coming to you with another video. Shout out to the whole LDBC. If you like this video, please like the video, and if you want to, please subscribe to the channel so you can stay in the loop of what we have going on. It's my intention to make this channel more interactive, more, I guess you can say more visual, so to say. I mean, there's really nothing you can really do to make it more user friendly as far as like having access to different things and stuff like that. But anyhow, I just want to give my comments on the quote unquote HIV test in which this dude took, Nature Nut. I mean, okay, so he took an HIV test, and according to him, it came back negative. That doesn't mean anything. HIV is one of the many STDs that there are, okay, and to me, like, it really doesn't like really garner or make me think any less that that dude's a walking virus, like it doesn't really change my mind about that. you know he talks about, oh, I'm doing this to exonerate me and my crew. Nah, dude, you're doing it to because you're running out of content. Now that you're in quote unquote Babylon, you don't really got any content matter anymore. That's what it comes down to. You're doing it for clickbait. You're doing it for basically to stay relevant. Now you and your followers are gonna go and say that, oh, he did an HIV test and it came back clean. Oh, our master did an HIV test and it came back clean. That's what you're doing it for. Because everybody that is stupid enough to follow you and that is stupid enough to hang on to all the bull crap that you teach, I can't even say teach, that you Google, is going to go for this. But I'm not going to go for it. Number one, how do I know that the test was even like accurate? Because for one, you ate food before the test, which you're not supposed to. Number two, your alleged wife was blocking the test, okay? They were blocking it, so we couldn't really even see what was really going on. Okay? Number three, how do we know that you didn't, like, you guys didn't have many tests before and you guys did it before, and then you guys basically took a test from maybe, I don't know, someone else and then did it on your end. Okay? Basically, it didn't look too cut and dry the way y'all did that test. Yeah, I'm just saying. But even if it was cut and dry, that test doesn't prove anything. If you were really about that life, you would go and you would let them do bloodletting, okay? And you would go get a test that way. But according to you, but you're a walking contradiction. I have to remember that anybody who needs a doctor is stupid, and that you should be your own doctor, and that disease is mental, and that it's dis-ease, according to you. These were your words. And you being nervous about that test and stuff and scared about that test goes to show you that you even know that you're not even in control of your own desires. Because the fact of the matter is, there are two things in which can overtake our body if we don't control them, and it can produce bad results. That's food, and that's sexual intercourse. And you definitely are not in control of no sexual intercourse, and you're definitely not in control of your appetite because you be eating like all the time on live. There's not a time that I don't see your clown ass eating. So, like, really, that test doesn't mean anything. And I'm gonna tell you the reason why it doesn't really mean anything. Number one, your baby mama has come out and said at least 4 girls got something from you. Okay, number two, a girl that was in your camp, I think her name was Suni Mayat, has came out and said you gave her a STI. You have tried to refute it and say, how do I know you didn't come here with it? Okay, so just because you test okay for not having HIV does not mean you don't have STDs. We see it all over your face, dog. Like, come on now, man. You're not fooling me. You're fooling your followers, but you sure aren't fooling me, bro. Like, I mean, I wasn't born yesterday, man. Real talk. And then here's another thing, too, about the whole situation. Any person with logic would know that this guy has something. And I'm going to tell you why. You know, I don't follow Carbon Nation or whatever the case may be, but I just, I can't watch a whole video of them. I would my brain would literally fall over if I did watch a whole video of their foolishness. But anyhow, when Sidenetter did interviews with them and stuff like that and everything like that, you have to look at the trail of what was left behind, okay? Nubian said he had herpes. Nubian said he was cured of herpes. What you would call it? Velvet said she had herpes. Okay. So it was like a triangle because Nubian slept with Joy, who in return slept with Nature Boy because at one time she was a wife of his. But honestly, I think it was before that she slept with Nature Boy first and then slept with Nubian. But anyhow, that thing is still going in a circle. That thing is still being passed around and stuff like that. Number two, or another point I want to make. You even said yourself you don't believe in Western, you even said yourself that you don't need no kind of Western medicine or anything like that. Although you went to the hospital for your wife, for her to deliver her kid, and well, I don't even want to call her your wife. You went to the hospital for your girl. I'm not going to even call them your wife because, I mean, you don't treat none of those women like wives at all. But anyhow, you did that. And so with that being said, it just really tells me that, that you just are a walking contradiction. But how are we supposed to believe anything you say? Like, seriously. Or how are we supposed to believe anything you show? When you look at the test and how he took it and stuff like that, the camera was all shaky. He was moving it around and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, these dudes probably are doing this for added theatrics. And also, you have to realize one thing, man, and this is the crazy thing. I was reading the article in the Panama newspaper. I was reading the one in Spanish, in Espanol. I was reading it in Espanol. And so when I was reading it in Espanol, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, well, they say there's a minor, and I'm thinking that the minor is the little babies, what I mean? But they were part of it, but they also mentioned another minor. And so I could be wrong. I'm thinking that minor was Zoka. And that, those corny names he be giving his followers is crazy, bro. Like, he be just giving them these corny ass names. And he talks about how he hates the white man, and the white man does this, the white man does that. But he's doing the exact same things that the white man does. Like naming your followers, not giving them a chance to define or name themselves. Come on now, man. That's why I know if I was ever in this camp, I would have came to blows with this, like, fraud ass nigga, man. I would have been, like, punched through that nigga. Because, like, I would have been like, nigga, I'm not Toby. I'm Kunta, nigga. You're not gonna Toby me, nigga. The hell does this look like, nigga? And so with that being said, I don't take his, like, so-called tests at face value or anything. Here's another reason why I don't take it at face value. You know how they say when you're drunk, you tell the truth, basically, when you're drunk. When he was in his crocodile tears with Velvet, or whatever the case may be, he was crying up a storm, being like, oh, I'm tired, I'm scared of these women. They keep on doing this to me, and, they keep on hurting me. I've never seen my son Buddha. And plus I have this disease. That slipped out. That slipped out when he said that. So when that slipped out, I'm like, okay, well, he just basically told us what we already know. I'm like, dude is just telling us what we've already known before, It's nothing new. So when he said this, I'm like, okay, well, we already knew he had a disease. I mean, the thing is, bro, I have a memory like an elephant, bro. In my village back in Africa, one of my teachers basically said, you keep the library in your brain. And so even to this day, I memorize different texts in order to keep me sharp, Like if someone were to ask me about a text, I would be able to, like, start reciting that text right now, My teacher said the library is not with you, with you carrying books around. The library is with you in your brain. So I'm not trying to sound arrogant or anything, but I have the memory of an elephant, basically. So in one of the previous videos, in a long time ago, he has said many times, the doctor said I had chlamydia. The doctor said I had, hepatitis. And he even said that, that he wants women with herpes over there so that way he can have a flock of wives. That's what he said, okay? So when he says things like this, what makes you not think that those women didn't go over there hot? Word on the street is Umi went over there hot. And he definitely slept with her. He's just a nasty ass nigga. So, like, that test doesn't exonerate him. It just means that, okay, he didn't get, if they did do that test the right way, which I seriously doubt, it just means that he didn't show up for HIV. That doesn't necessarily mean he doesn't have anything else. That's just all that means to me. It's like almost scientifically impossible for him not to have anything else. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. You're working in the sex industry. And not only are you having sex with women, but you're having sex with guys too. The only way that you can have sex with guys is through their anal cavity, okay? You're bound to contract something from doing that. It is against the laws, okay? It's against like your natural disposition. It's very unnatural, actually, you know. And plus, he just likes sodomy in general. He said that he's a big fan of sodomy anyway. The fact that he's a big fan of sodomy, okay, means that he has contracted something, bro. I mean, you don't just get breakout in your face based on like just based on uh um that type of breakout, at least like discolorment. I can see if you get bumps on your face and stuff like that, like your face is breaking out, it has allergic reaction. I get that. But discolorment on your face, nah, man, come on. That's not normal. That's not normal at all. And if you still look closely at the videos, he's still discoloring on his face. So with that being said, he doesn't fool me. I'm of the impression that this dude definitely still has some sort of STDs swimming around, and that the women he recruits and that wants them to come to carbonation are along the same lines. If you look at all the women who have came to carbonation, most of them have like some kind of broken past. Most of them have been sluts when they were here or something like that, you know? So that's what I'm saying. I think the reason why those women go is because they can exercise their sexuality, because niggas on the street here already know their reputation and they're like, oh, nah, we're not going near that. You know, we know what's in store for that. So with that being said, man, like, they're just a bunch of degenerates who can't function in normal society, you know. And I guarantee you that fool is walking on pins and needles in quote unquote Babylon. Because I'm going to tell you something, you know, the wrong one's going to see him and then he's going to be like, oh, okay, bet. You know, and that's just what it is, man. That's just my thoughts on his little stunt, publicity stunt. And it means nothing to me. It just shows me that, okay, he didn't get, HIV didn't show up. But I guarantee you there's syphilis, chlamydia, herpes, and all types of things that are swimming around that didn't show up either. But it only tested for one thing, so that doesn't mean anything to me, you know. And yeah, I mean, that's all I got, man. I mean, the crazy thing is, too, and I'm going to end it on this note. The crazy thing is he complains about channel holders. They're cyberbullying me. Da. All we are doing is giving our opinion about you. That's not cyberbullying, okay? You put yourself in a position to get ragged on by showing your life because you can't stay off of the darn Instagram Live or can't stay off of social media. That's your fault. You know? That you bring everything you have is brought on yourself. There's a saying that we have, okay? The good comes from God. The evil comes from the work of your own hands. And that's just the reality. So deal with it, take your L, and, you know, just basically if you want to take out your frustration, man, I'm always ready, man. For real. I'm always ready. You or any of your followers can get this smoke, man. You think someone's scared of you? because you bark louder than you bite? Or you bark harder than you bite? Ain't nobody scared of you. Man, I remember when you slapped Tron, man. You slapped like a bitch. Come on now, man. He actually thinks dudes are scared of him. Oh, he's funny, man. He's a funny dude, man. Seriously. When it's actually the other way around, he's scared of dudes. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now. Fool is signing out. Inshallah.